President Akufo-Addo has assured his administration is working towards sustaining the peace and stability of the country during and after the December 7 elections, recounting his own electoral defeats, one of which he took to the Supreme Court. President Akufo-Addo called on other political parties to embrace and commit to a peaceful process and not resort to violence during elections. President Akufo-Addo said this when he inaugurated the refurbished TUC Hall.
Peace of our nation in these sensitive times. Let me assure you of the wholehearted efforts that are being made by my government and I to ensure the peace and stability of the nation as we enter the home stretch of the electioneering campaign. I'm calling on all political actors and the citizenry as a whole to commit themselves to a peaceful process and to forego any resort to violence. The Inspector General of Police and the other heads of the law enforcement agencies had made abundantly clear their determination to enforce the laws of the land, including the law banning vigilantism.
Vice President Dr. Bawumia says the NPP government will put the country among modern economies in Africa within 3 years when retained. According to him, all steps taken in the digital space will be consolidated with time to put the country in its expected position. Dr. Bawumia specifically points to mobile money interoperability and national identification card as projects putting the country ahead of the African continent. He was speaking to students of St. Monica's cluster of schools in the Ashanti region, where he commissioned a 12-unit classroom block and a 500-bed capacity dormitory at St. Monica's as part of his tour of the Ashanti region.
Exports. Without the government of Nana Akufo-Addo, we will have no national ID cards, we will have no digital address system, and we will have no mobile money interoperability. Without mobile money interoperability, you won't be able to send money from Tigo to MTN or to Vodafone. And you won't be able to send money between a mobile wallet and a bank account. Ghana is the first country in Africa that has implemented mobile money interoperability. We are leading the world. I say in Africa, I've looked around the world, I've not yet seen any other country. But as far as Africa is concerned, I can say without any fear of contradiction, we are the first country to do so, and therefore we have, by just doing so, using technology, provided a bank account to almost 16 million Ghanaians through mobile money interoperability. We are thinking, as I said, we are thinking ahead. This country, it can be a very great nation and will be a very great nation. We have to make sure that this government continues in office. What we have started, we haven't finished. But by the grace of God, in another 2 to 3 years' time, we are going to see all of these developments coming together, and Ghana will be one of the most modern economies on the face of the African continent. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Let's stick with this government. Let's stick with Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and let's stick with free SHS.
Well, Deputy Education Minister Dr. Edu says introduction of the double track system in the education sector has put the total number of students in senior high schools at 1.2 million, well above the 800,000 spaces available. He says a vote against the NPP government is a vote against improvement in education.
Senior high schools now we have 1.2 million in a strategy for education. It's totally drugging, and that is what another doctor used. It's used around the world, in America, in other countries. So he borrowed something that is being used in other places, uses it here, and by the way he said, I'm going to build all the facilities. So at the point, double track will not be needed anymore. And that is what we are witnessing here today. This school has transformed itself, because there are so many buildings now across this country. The same thing is happening. We have a determined president who wants to change the fortunes of this country. But make no mistake about it, on December 7th, education is on the ballot. Quality education is on the ballot. If you don't vote for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, this country is going to go backwards. We can't afford to get Ghana go backwards. We have to move forward, transform ourselves, change the fortunes of this country.
Well, Vice President Dr. Bawumia says government is in the final stages of establishing an integrated bauxite development corporation to oversee all bauxite deposits in the country. Dr. Bawumia says when completed, the project will drive industrialization in the country. He has been justifying why the electorate must vote the NPP in the general elections as he tours the Ashanti region. Nanaya Jemfi has more in this report.
Dr. Bawumia says a plan to industrialize the country is in progress, hence the need to keep the government to complete the agenda.
Yes, we are now at the final stages of establishing an integrated bauxite development corporation in Ghana, which will working with the deposits at Nyenahini, for example. We are going to build this integrated bauxite and aluminium industry, and that is going to be very major for this country in terms of our industrialization. We are also taking the same steps to do the iron and steel industry, and that is going to add to the automotive industry that we are building and the 1D, 1F. So the industrialization strategy is fully on course, and we need to stay the course to do it. And along with that is the revival of our railways.
The Vice President touts the NPP government of being better managers of the economy than the previous administration. He explains reactivation of some policies as well as introduction of new ones is evidence of improved economy.
Because we have been implementing many policies since we came into office. And these policies we have been able to implement because we have, quite frankly, managed the economy better. You see that the economy that we inherited, the economy of 2016, could not have paid teacher training allowance, could not have paid nursing training allowance, could not have paid down the arrears on the national health insurance. But the economy that we have today, together with the policies that we are implementing, is allowing us to do so many things, so many new things that are going to propel the transformation of this country.
However, the NPP government says free SHS is key to transforming the economy of the country. Dr. Yao Osei-Educhum is Deputy Education Minister.
So when you hear about free senior high school, how do you increase your gross tertiary enrollment ratio when only about 50% of the students who graduate from junior high school are able to go to tertiary?
And then President Akufo-Addo climaxes two-day tour of the Upper West region with the commissioning of a small-town pipe water supply system at Hamile Hapa. The cost of the project is pegged at 5.1 million cedis, will provide a total of 168,444 gallons of water for nearly 14,000 people. Joining us, Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam has more.
The commissioning of the Hamile Hapa small-town pipe water supply system by President Akufo-Addo surely will change and better the lives of the people. Hitherto, they used to go through arduous times, wasting productive hours to look for the precious commodity. No struggle anymore. Water is at their doorstep. Head of Extension Services at the Community Water and Sanitation Agency, Theodoro Adomoko Ajayi, explains how the system, which is constructed with modern technology, works.
As you can see, this is a token. So you just have to go and load money on the token, and it makes it very convenient to fetch water, because if you load money on this at any time that you want, at dawn, midnight, to your own convenience, you can just pick this, come and fetch water.
Chief Executive Officer of the CWSA, Wolanyo Kojosiabi, stated that the new mandate of the agency is to sustain water facilities and services they provide and also employ the right technical people.
We are installing a lot of package plants to make sure that the facilities are treated soon. It's not part of this project, but you will see there are the system at Nadoli has a problem. If you are walking, you see that the reservoir is stained. We have excess iron and manganese, and so we are installing package plants. What we are doing is across the country, we are linking all of these package plants to Accra. You can sit in Accra. I can actually sit in Accra and switch off all of those water systems. I can stay in Accra and switch off the valve in your house if you are not paying. We can be there and determine the water quality within real time. So at least if we can do all of this, we can see that there is a challenge in Nadoli or there is a challenge in Hamile Hapa, and we can ask our colleagues to make sure that they take the necessary steps to do this.
According to President Akufo-Addo, the Hamile Hapa small town pipe water supply system has been built at a cost of 5,122,829.54 Ghana cedis and will provide a total of 168,444 gallons of water for 13,920 people. He urged the people of the Lamuse constituency to vote massively to retain the government in power for another 4-year term to do more for them.
A new 200 cubic meter high-level tank and 2 rehabilitated steel tanks, both with the capacity of 120 cubic meters, will serve as storage for the water. In addition to Hamile Hapa, Lambuse is another beneficiary of the rural water supply system of this region. Indeed, the Upper West region has also benefited from the drilling and construction of 250 boreholes fitted with hand pumps to improve access to potable water in 240 communities in 5 districts, namely Dafiama, Busie, Isa, Sisala West, Laura, Jirapa, and Nandom municipalities.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam, Hamile Hapa.